The text found me under a humming floodlight, wrench in one hand, grit on my tongue. I was logging faults on convoy trucks when my phone lit electric blue. "Mara, we sold the house on Sycamore Avenue for $800,000. Don't worry about coming back when your deployment ends. The money's ours now. You'll sort yourself out." I stared until the letters blurred. The house on Sycamore wasn't just lumber. It was lemon oil on the banister, Dad teaching me a curveball with an apple, a crooked prom photo on the fridge. It was also the property Dad willed to me 2 years ago. Mom, Ruth, had been living there since the funeral. I told myself the paperwork could wait, that duty came first and family would hold the line. Sand scraped my teeth as betrayal settled, hot and bright. I thumbed back 3 words. Congratulations on selling. What Ruth didn't know, what none of them knew, Caleb with his fixed grin, Nina with her tidy budgets, was that I hadn't been poor during 8 years in uniform. On my second deployment, I mapped choke points in our supply chain, crates asleep in warehouses, while patrols begged for parts. After missions, I coded. A crude tracker became a platform, then a pilot, then a pitch. When I rotated stateside, the calls answered. Within 6 months, I signed my first 7-figure contract. 2 years later, North Star Flow Systems was valued at $47 million. I kept my rank and my mouth shut. 3 weeks ago, when Sycamore hit the market, the winning bidder, Petrol Holdings LLC, was mine. I planned the return like an op order. 3 months later, boots on Dover concrete, I headed west to reclaim what was mine. From the airport, I went straight to Sycamore. September warmed the sidewalks, sprinklers ticking across lawns that hadn't changed since I was 12. The house had new paint, trimmed hedges, showroom blinds. I used the key Dad gave me at 16. It still turned. Inside, our history was bleached out. The sofa where he watched Sunday football was gone. A gray couch stared back. The kitchen gleamed like a magazine. A car door thudded. Ruth's Camry slid into the drive. "Hello," she called, stepping in with a reusable bag. Her gaze found me and stuttered from confusion to fear. "Mara, how did you get in? You can't be here. The house is sold. The new owners could call the police." "They probably won't," I said. She straightened. "I know you're upset, but we needed the money. You were gone. There's nothing left to split." "Split?" I tasted rust. Dad left the deed to me, and he paid the mortgage off 15 years ago. Color left her face. I dialed. "Richard, it's Mara. We're at the property." He arrived 20 minutes later. "Mrs. Carver," he said. "I represent your daughter. The buyer, Petrol Holdings LLC, is a wholly owned subsidiary of North Star Flow Systems." Ruth blinked. "North Star is Mara's? Holy!" Richard spread the folder, closing statements, wire receipts, the recorded deed. "Which means the owner is present, and you are occupying without permission. Here is a 30-day notice to vacate." Ruth swayed, then sat on the gray couch she'd bought with my inheritance. "Mara, please." I looked around, taking in the staged stillness. "We'll talk," I said. "But first, we'll do this right." My phone began to buzz with Caleb's name. I answered. "Caleb!" "What's going on? Mom says lawyers, eviction." "It's simple," I said. "Dad left Sycamore to me. You sold it. Make it right by returning the money." "We spent it." His voice dropped. "The truck. Some debts." "Then sell the truck. Cut the debts. 30 days. He went quiet. "Nina's calling you." Nina rang moments later, brisk until it cracked. "Mara, we made mistakes. We can fix it if you give us time." "You'll have a plan by Friday, in writing." After the calls, I sat with Ruth at the kitchen island. "I loved you enough to trust you with silence," I said. "You loved money more." Ruth folded her hands. "I thought you'd never come home. I told myself it was practical. I was wrong. We'll rebuild if you act like family." 3 signatures later, Richard left copies. Acknowledgement of debt, notice to vacate, an agreement not to enter without permission. Ruth pressed a palm to the doorway and left. 6 weeks moved like molasses and then like rain. Caleb sold his truck and boat. Nina listed her place and downsized. Ruth moved to a modest apartment. Together, they repaid $640,000. We scheduled the rest. I kept Dad's study exactly as it was, the nicked desk, the brass lamp, and turned the rest into North Star's civilian hub. I kept the yard's old maple. Mornings, I unlock with the same key from 16 and walk past framed manifests that once were code in a cot-side notebook. Coming home didn't mean retreat. It meant command. They had taken my house for money. I made the house earn meaning again.